Hey everyone, my name is Justin Russ and I'm the owner of Voia Performance, located right here in Boynton Beach, Florida. To tell you a little bit about my business, I function primarily in athletic performance, specifically with tennis athletes and racket sport athletes of all kinds, working with anyone from kids to juniors to college athletes, all the way up to professionals and everyone in between. I also run an online business where I coach clients remotely via a mobile app, and I function as a consultant to several Division I tennis programs. So mindset shift when you go from being a trainer to a business owner is that your life and your mindset suddenly turns into everything about business. And what I mean by that is you're going to spend a lot of time thinking about ROIs, thinking about investing your time, thinking about different ways that you can steer your business to make it more profitable. And this just happens as you're going about your day. And sometimes you get ideas, you want to take some notes down, but you know, when you're a trainer or an employee of a gym, you can kind of coast and relax a little bit. When you're a business owner, everything is on you. So you're going to find yourself talking and thinking about business and all facets of it much more frequently. There really wasn't like crazy magic, huge spark that set me off on my own fitness journey. I had been working as a W-9 employee for several years at various institutions. And over time, you start to realize that, you know, when you work and function in that role, you're very much tied to the rules and the regulations and everything surrounding that place. You're kind of married to that institution. And not that that's a bad thing. I think it's a great route for some people. However, working with tennis athletes who travel quite frequently, I realized that I just needed some more flexibility. I needed to be able to set my own schedule. I needed to be able to maybe go out of town for a couple of weeks a year without really any oversight or my own oversight. So that's what caused me to really take the leap and pursue working for myself. If I could give one piece of advice to anyone looking to start their new business or someone thinking about starting their own business now, it would be to have goals, obviously, but not be so set and fixated on those goals that it creates a set of blinders and it prevents you from seeing and potentially taking advantage of opportunities that may arise on the path. And what I mean by this is that if somebody told me that I would be a strength and conditioning coach specializing in work with tennis athletes, 10, 15 years ago, I would have thought that they were crazy. But, I had goals as a younger coach, but seeing opportunities come up along the path allowed me to be open to accepting new things and finding different passions and finding different career paths. Because, as people talk about, success is never really ever linear. We're kind of up and down all the time. So I would say to, yes, have goals, have a clear picture of what you want to do, but also be open to other things that might come up across the path through relationships, through networking, and just through different situations. So a question that comes up pretty frequently is, how did you secure your first couple of clients as a new business owner? And as cliche as it might sound, I think that it all relates back to interpersonal relationships. And when you move to a new place, getting out into the community, adopting hobbies, going out and socializing, and sometimes you're not always going to want to, and just generally being someone who's outgoing, someone who's personable, asks questions, and generally someone others want to be around. Probably the biggest way that my business has evolved since I started is the online coaching component of it. As I mentioned, I work with a lot of tennis athletes who spend 40 weeks a year on the road. So I very rarely see some of these athletes in person. And when I started, it began, as me sending PDF documents with video links in the exercise names to these people. And that just became really, really tedious. So I needed to find a solution to delivering programs online in an effective way with video resources in a really user-friendly manner to athletes who are traveling most of the time, with access to different equipment every week and various different tournament and competition schedules. So I would say that the online component of my business has been the biggest stepping stone and the biggest evolution of my business, and it's been really, really helpful. I would say a plot twist that took place pretty early on, right after my move to South Florida to start my own business, was the gym that I had originally planned on operating my business out of decided to shut down. So that forced me to pivot. I ended up moving to another gym that was conveniently down the street, so it made my clients' lives a lot easier. It created some more opportunities in terms of client flow. But I definitely was not expecting the first place to close down as soon as it did. And I think, anytime we look at business, we have to plan for the fact that no plan is ever going to go quite according to plan. And I think that with that mindset, it saves us some stress and allows us to keep our ducks in a row and have some plan Bs in our back pocket. The idea of continued learning and continued professional development is a critical piece of any aspect of the fitness world, particularly in owning your own business. This is why companies like NASM have been so helpful to me and their partnership and their guidance in terms of providing continued education and support along the way. But look, the field is always changing and concepts are always evolving, and there's always going to be a new cutting edge. So it's always important to stay on top of your research, your literature, and your continued education. And for me, NASM's been a great resource to be able to do that. Owning and operating your own business is extremely rewarding in a variety of ways. Obviously, I get to come to work every day and impact the lives of young athletes, professional athletes, everyone in between. I get to be on my feet and have a high energy work environment, which is extremely rewarding. Obviously, when my athletes compete and win, it's really, really gratifying. But I think the point that we have to acknowledge here is just the pride in oneself, right? It takes a lot of courage and a lot of risk to take the leap and begin your own business. So I think probably the part that's most rewarding to me is just simply being proud of myself, and being proud of myself for staying the course, thinking outside of the box, being resourceful, and really, playing your chips right, so to speak, so that your business can thrive. That's a little bit about me. Thanks for taking the time to listen to my journey. Again, my name is Justin Russ. I own Voia Performance, located here in Boynton Beach, Florida. If you want to get in touch, coachjustinruss@gmail.com or reach out on Instagram.